that stretches in many directions and many ways. That is what you see right here behind this podium, who America is. And today the Constitution won. The American people won. As part and chair of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, we were happy to be part of this lawsuit. As friends of the court, we came in to make our statement felt in the highest court of the land. An unequivocal statement, an American statement, that we will not be held to a different standard, that our children that are born here are U.S. born children, irregardless of our status, and that we belong and we deserve to have all the rights and privileges extended to all Americans by the U.S. Constitution. Trump tried to erase one of our nation's clearest constitutional guarantee, and he failed. We won, and he failed. We're right, and he's wrong. Birthright citizenship is protected, is shielded by the 14th Amendment and by the sacred document called the Constitution. No president has the power, to decide who an American is. The Constitution states it, and it does it in a very transparent and clear way. As MAGA extremists push a dangerous and divisive vision rooted in fear and exclusion, the Congressional Hispanic Caucus stands united to defend our Constitution, everybody's Constitution, your Constitution, yours and yours, all of us. We are the owners of that document, the Constitution, an elastic document that will stretch to include everybody. And so we will continue to stand united to defend that document, protect our freedoms, and fight for America, for every child, so that every child has the opportunity to achieve the American dream. Hoy ganó la Constitución y ganó el pueblo americano. Donald Trump intentó de eliminar una de las garantías más sagradas, más importantes de nuestra Constitución y fue derrotado, fracasó. La ciudadanía por nacimiento es protegida por la 14 enmienda de la Constitución y ningún presidente tiene el derecho a eliminar esa gran garantía para todos nuestros hijos. Mientras los extremistas de MAGA impulsaron una agenda basada en el miedo, el caucus hispano se lanzó adelante de nuevo y a través de un litigio se unió a esta acción legal como amigos de la Corte para que este fallo fuera hoy un éxito. Le doy la gracia a los miembros del caucus. Yo creo que de muchas maneras nosotros le hemos enseñado a este pueblo, a esta ciudad, cómo pelear a favor de los emigrantes, porque nosotros somos emigrantes también y nunca vamos a olvidar eso. Gracias. With that, I introduce Congressman Troy Carter. Sorry.
All right.
And then you.
Thank you very much. I am Congressman Troy Carter, representing the great state of Louisiana, the first vice chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. I want to thank my colleagues in the House Democratic Caucus for their presence and their leadership here today, for the congressional team of caucuses that you see here today, standing in unison, recognizing the importance of this day and this victory. The 14th Amendment was written into the Constitution during Reconstruction to ensure that no one could deny or question the citizenship of formerly enslaved Americans because of their race. Today, more than 150 years later, That constitutional guarantee has withstood Donald Trump's unconstitutional assault on one of our nation's most fundamental promises. The history and the gravity of this moment should not be lost on any of us. The fact that we've arrived at a moment where an American president would attempt to unilaterally strip Americans of their constitutional birthright is in itself a warning to all of us today, you tomorrow, and who may be next. It reminds us that our rights cannot be taken for granted. Donald Trump's effort to end birthright citizenship was an attempt to unravel one of the Constitution's clearest guarantees, that citizenship is a constitutional right, not a privilege that any president can give or revoke.
That's right.
While that shameful effort has failed, we're under no illusion that Donald Trump and his allies will stop attacking our fundamental freedoms, our diversity, and the constitutional rights of the American people. Nor are we under any illusion that the role of the Supreme Court has chosen to play, not one of being the arbiter of interpreting the law, but one that is succumbing to the pressures of a president who simply wants his way. As we've seen here in this term, from the Calais decision to temporary protected status to upholding discriminatory anti-transgender sports ban, the Roberts Court has repeatedly rolled back hard-fought progress while expanding presidential power at the expense of the rights of everyday Americans. We know what we're up against, and the House Democrats are not backing down. Every inch of progress in this country has been hard-fought, won through struggle, through resistance, and through courage of people this nation too often tried to leave behind. We will not stand by while our progress is dismantled. This battle is not over. This battle will not be over, because we will continue to fight and we will not quit. Make no mistake about it. Today's victory does not mark the end of this fight. It marks the beginning of the next one. The American people deserve a judiciary that is independent, accountable, and committed to equal justice under the law, not one that repeatedly expands unchecked presidential power while narrowing the rights and freedoms of the people. House Democrats will continue fighting for meaningful Supreme Court reform, including term limits and stronger ethics and accountability measures that restore public trust in this Constitution. As was said, our Constitution, your Constitution, your Constitution. The Constitution does not belong to any president. It belongs to the American people.
That's right. The bottom line.
Because the stakes of this court are far beyond the actions of these justices. They reach the very heart of our democracy, to whether we will keep faith in our highest ideals, that the Constitution protects every American equally, and that no president, no court is above it. House Democrats will do everything in our power to ensure that these promises are kept. Next, I will bring to the podium the chairman of the Hispanic Caucus, of the Progressive Caucus, Greg Casar.
Double whammy.
Good morning. I want to thank the leaders of the New Dems and KPAC and the CBC for all of their work on this, and a special recognition to our chairman and leader of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, Adriano Espaillat. Thank you so very, very much. I'm Greg Casar. I represent the heart of Texas in Congress. I'm chairman of the Progressive Caucus, and today we're here to stand up for a fundamental American principle, that if you're born in America, you are an American. No matter your parents' birthplace or language or creed, citizenship is a birthright in this country. No one is born a second-class citizen, and no president, no would-be king gets to pick and choose who is and who is not American. One people and equal justice for every single one of them. That is what Donald Trump was trying to undermine with his executive order. That the men and women who fought for the 14th Amendment knew the dangers, of allowing people in power to pick and choose who does and does not have rights in this country. They had won a civil war to purge our country of the moral rot that follows when some people are deemed unworthy of equal rights. And today we say we will never go back. But I wish I could stand before you today and say this ruling was only good news. But it is not. While we won the case today, we also got a grave warning about the future. What should have been a simple, unanimous, open and shut decision was dangerously close. Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, Samuel Alito, and Brett Kavanaugh failed to recognize the fundamental constitutional right to birthright citizenship.
Shame.
3 of those 4 justices would have allowed Donald Trump to rewrite the Constitution and overrule Congress with an executive order. These 4 men, so blinded by partisanship and extremism, that they act like they can't see the words in the Constitution. They can certainly read, but they are not following their oath to protect the Constitution and the rights of the people in this country. Shame on them.
Shame.
If these far-right justices are ruling against our rights, even when they're written down black and white in the Constitution, then nothing we hold dear is safe. So today we may breathe a sigh of relief, but we also recommit ourselves to the fight to protect the rights of all citizens. And the way we do that is reining in this hyper-partisan Supreme Court.
Yeah.
It's time to have a Supreme Court that is for the people and not just for their big donors.
Amen. Amen.
And with that, I am proud to call up my friend, a great ally on this work from the New Democratic Coalition, Congressman Derek Tran.
Go, Derek. Go, Derek.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank my Tri-Caucus colleagues and my colleagues from the New Dems and Progressive Caucus for welcoming me and standing shoulder to shoulder with me today. I was born in the United States the year that my refugee parents were admitted to this great country. They fled oppression and violence in communist Vietnam and came to the United States because of the promise of the American dream. A dream that says that if you work hard and you play by the rules, our family will be no less American than the people who arrived on the Mayflower. It was because America welcomed my refugee parents that I was able to join the Army and start my own business and now represent California in Congress. But I am not unique. Almost every American can trace their family history through the story of immigration. We have built communities that are unmatched in our prosperity. We have turned adversity into opportunity, and we have nurtured trailblazers in all walks of life. But President Trump tried to turn back the clock on that progress. He wanted to sacrifice the prosperity that we have built to just advance his own racist and xenophobic agenda. But the Supreme Court rejected the president's efforts. They affirmed that every child born in the United States is a citizen of the United States, keeping a fundamental principle of the American dream alive. But we know that this is not the end of President Trump's attack on the Constitution. We cannot let up this fight to protect our fundamental rights. The American dream is not a guarantee to us. We have to fight for it each and every day. Thank you so much.